This is officially episode 8 of the Don't Miss This podcast with Sam Butler and Jack Anderson, a.k.a.
DMT with D. Jackie and B. Sammy.
You did that on purpose.
Yes, I did.
God.
Yes, I did.
Why are you the way that you are?
Because I am a known terrorist. It's just the truth of my life. I've been a terrorist since really 8th grade. I was on the terrorist watch list. So,
Okay. Well, let me ask you this question. How do you feel that Joaquin Phoenix is about to portray you in your origin story / biopic?
I'm pretty excited.
Called The Jacker.
You know, Joaquin, interesting choice, you know? But the more I saw it, the more I thought about it, the more I was like, makes sense, you know? I like to think that Joaquin does try and emulate me in most aspects of his life, especially in his acting. Mm-hmm. So, to see it replicated on film, I mean, I can't wait. I can't wait to see the story, you know? Yeah. I hope it's true to life. Because, quite frankly, Jared Leto did the best job of portraying
you?
Yeah.
That is a controversial statement there.
I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty...
No, it's not. It's not controversial for you. You know why it is? Why? Because you want to watch the world burn.
And I do.
So you pick the most inflammatory goddamn option. See, I'm on to you.
My method's not hard to crack. It's just hard to stop.
The madness, figuring that out, that's easy. That's easy.
That's
the stopping it.
Yeah, it's impossible, I would say. I mean, until I cease to exist, you better believe I have followers, okay? I have people that follow my style, my madness.
Wow. And these are like real life followers because you don't have an Instagram to have those followers.
No, they're waiting outside the door actually right now. They follow me wherever I go.
Okay.
Yeah, I tell them to move like a kind of like a migration of penguins.
I thought you were going to say like family of gorillas.
A family of gorillas, good.
Nope, you missed. No, you're a bunch of penguins. So you're claiming the mascot, the Penguins.
Yeah, I like the Penguins. Pittsburgh Penguins. They won a championship the other year. I don't know much about hockey, but I will say I chose the Penguin migration for my followers' animal-like behavior because they have to swear off cars if they're going to follow me, right?
And they have to waddle.
They have to waddle.
And they have to carry their kids between their legs.
They do. And if they don't have a kid, then they have to carry fucking...
Now, Jack... If, say, on days there were slick and icy conditions, wet conditions, would they be allowed to slide on their bellies?
Absolutely. Okay. In fact, I encourage it.
Well, you are a benevolent leader now, I see.
It's true. It's interesting. I wanted to become the ultimate hybrid of Batman villains, and it seemed like Joker and Penguin were the perfect two to put together, you know?
Well, and then, like, everything trying to figure it out, that's Riddler. That screams Riddler.
Exactly.
And when I'm around you, I feel like it's a living nightmare. So there's Scarecrow.
True.
You got the guns going. There's Bane.
Got some Bane. I'm a very two-faced person, you know?
Yeah, you are. You're duplicitous as fuck.
I love crocodiles, so Killer Croc is in my soul, you know? I love Batman's Rogue Gallery, as do we all. Yeah. I'm a master of martial arts, so Ra's al Ghul. Let's throw him in there.
Well, I mean, and also you can come back to life, I'm pretty sure, if anybody tried to kill you, because you are a demon haunting this planet.
Yes, I am.
You are a presence.
I'm like Bill Hader and Popstar. I like to flatline at least once a week.
Oh, no doubt. Definitely, for sure. Yeah. Now, what about mushrooms, though?
Mushrooms?
Yeah.
Like shroomy shrooms?
When's that gonna happen again, man?
Man, I'll tell you, it's hard to find connections. You know, you find one.
Bro, you threw a whole bag at me.
Oh, yes, this is true.
Wow.
Then I started finding money opportunities for those. And people were like, hey, can I purchase? And I was like, I don't got any money right now, so yeah, you can.
Hear that, FBI?
That? Oh,
Hear that, FBI?
I know. Well, we live in Denver, so it's okay.
Well, it wasn't when you had them. Now I'm actually... Now the bit's over. I'm actually mad, man. Come on. It's been so long.
I'll get you. Don't worry.
You said that when you threw a bag at me. A big one. It's like softball size.
I have no good excuse. You've caught me in quite a trap here.
You didn't even offer to sell them to me.
Well, I didn't want to sell them in the first place, but then I got an offer, and I was like...
And then you got hooked. You're like Will Ferrell and the other guys.
Yeah.
You know, when he was becoming a
Oh, yeah, I was Gator.
Yeah, you became Gator.
Straight up became Gator.
It was upsetting.
I love it. No, I'll get, they'll be good. We'll get some.
See, as I missed out.
Yeah, I mean, hey. You admit, well, I guess you did, but not a lot of people got in to begin with. So.
I know, but still.
There's no FOMO here. There's no FOMO.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't believe you.
I'm going to be sipping this smoothie.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Disrespectful, like?
100%.
Yeah, are you going to rattle it up?
Yeah, freaking the whole, like, while you try and talk, I'm just... Could be like that
everybody's
the whole
I'm gonna love listening
yes,
to that back when I get home. Dude,
just
I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna fucking love listening to that.
I'm gonna just fucking shake my shaker bottle and make chimpanzee sounds for the entire podcast.
Well, then I'm just gonna have to take this tea that you made and just straight up dump it all over your laptop.
Oh, please don't do that.
I mean, it's just right there. It's a flick of the finger, man, and you're going to the genius, and he's going to be like, who was the genius who masterminded this operation of shutting down your laptop forever?
That may be the best way to bring me to... You may have found the answer. You may have found the way to stop me.
Actually, no, I feel like this will start you, like in,
that's true.
In the famous... Alan Moore comic book, The Killing Joke. Mm-hmm. Joker says all it takes is one bad day. That'd be a pretty bad day if I spilt your tea.
That's actually true. If you spilled my tea on my laptop, then you would remove virtually all meaning from my life, and then I could go full anarchy.
Wow, you are invested in this laptop.
Dude, it's got my spirit in it.
Oh, it's got stickers on it.
It's got a lot of stickers, and they're good stickers. It's just kind of me on a laptop. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I bet that makes you feel like you have a unique identity.
I do. I'm a very unique person.
Yeah.
I'm unlike anybody that's ever existed ever. I am worshipped, and I expect that to only grow from here. I expect our worshiping numbers to at least increase 4 times by 2020. Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least tell them to start spreading the word to listen to the podcast.
Try it, man. You
said you have a whole bunch of freaking followers. How come our numbers aren't that high?
Well, because they don't believe in podcasts.
I actually haven't checked the numbers. Watch them have like quintupled.
Yeah, well, everybody's listening to this right now.
We're chomping at the bit. Where's DMT? Tuesday came and went.
We're acting like only 17 people are listening to it, but actually like 17,000 people are, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's 2 choices you can have whenever you get into self-broadcasting, especially if you have a camera sticking in your face. You could use it as like, oh, I'm ridiculous talking to a lens right now, or... I'm imagining thousands of people on the other end of this. That's what's keeping me from not being like, what am I doing?
I was actually thinking about that last night. You know, all these solo podcasts we listen to. Essentially, I mean, luckily they have a producer in the room, but they're not talking to the producer. They're just talking to themselves.
And Burr doesn't even have one.
Yeah, Burr just talks. And
he just has his own recorder. He just talks into it.
And it's just that easy. Like, I was in my car last night coming home from improv.
Oh, my God, it startled me.
Oh, yeah, Cody will do. That door in particular is quite terrifying.
It's a loud door.
I don't know why. Yeah, it's very... I mean, it scares literally everybody that walks through that and through it.
I'd like to make an entrance.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Welcome.
So you were driving back from improv?
Yeah, I was coming back from improv, and I was just running bits, talking to myself in the car, and then quickly it was like, oh, I'm going insane. And then I was like, oh, no, this is really fun, pretending it's like a podcast. And then that made me start thinking about the podcast thing. Mm-hmm. It's not a good story.
Well, you got to have like a good ounce of insanity to want to do this in the first place.
100%. To do really anything I did. Like, I do think... I have to, like, give in to the insanity. You know what I mean?
I mean, you don't have to... all the time.
Yeah, I disagree, because then you let it go. And if you let the insanity go, you could lose it. I don't like to lose it.
Jagger, you can't wait until you get arrested. And you know what you're going to get arrested for is stealing like something like an ostrich, and then using that to try and rob a bank.
I have a couple ideas, actually, how to do that, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You've got that plan, too?
Mm-hmm.
What about for the?
Well, you got to think about the Denver Zoo, right?
Well, I was going to say you were just at the Denver Zoo casing the joint,
Yes.
under the disguise of being, high with your friends, but you were casing the joint.
I was figuring it out.
It's an Ocean's 3 scenario,
and quite frankly, the ostriches, they're very sequestered. They're in the zebra exhibit. I could very easily sneak one of them out quickly, and yeah. I'm a thick dude, but I feel like those birds could carry me. They average about 55 miles per hour normal speed. You put me on their back, I'm sure we're only cutting it down to maybe 40. You know, we're only cutting about 15 miles per hour for the speed. And with an ostrich, I can go anywhere. Cars can only go on the street. Okay, and you walk into a bank with an ostrich, people are freaking out.
Yeah.
I mean, I just go and take the money while the ostrich just does its thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's standing there with his 2 AR-15s, about to mow down an entire bank full of people.
That's right.
For that little bit of cash that banks still have.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like, you got a killing machine.
Yeah. His name's Roger.
Wait, you currently have him? Jack? Don't incriminate yourself. But also answer honestly.
I will say that I've seen a bird today. Yeah, that's where I'll leave this, because I think that's honest and not incriminating. There's birds everywhere, but there is one bird that I've seen within the past hour. That may be a little smarter than the others, a little bigger, a little faster.
Smarter than the average bird, huh?
May not have the ability of flight, but the quads to frickin' kick in a goddamn drawbridge.
Drawbridge?
Yeah, they're so strong they could kick in a drawbridge.
Oh.
Yeah.
Kick it in, like, from being down? Oh.
Yeah, if they needed to.
Well, now I'm learning all sorts of different facts about anonymous bird.
Yes.
Named Roger.
Yes. No.
You didn't say you had one. This is all hypothetical.
This is hypothetical.
This is all alleged.
Creature.
This is all alleged.
Yes, exactly. I was going to say this is all legend.
Speaking of birds,
yeah.
I saw this hawk over the golf course.
Huh?
And it was actually pretty sweet because it was flying around. I'm like, nice, that hawk hangs out here. And then, I go and I do a couple more bunkers, and then I get out, and then all of a sudden, the hawk's coming back with a rabbit. Lands on the rabbit on a branch, about to just go to town, and I was like, dude, this is so fucking metal.
Fuck yeah. No, that's what life is, man. Life is hawks swooping up rabbits.
It's just metal, man. It's all metal out here.
I love when people, I don't know, you can't deny, people have this weird, fascination with, carnivores, I don't think anybody's ever, I don't think anybody dislikes, leopards or lions or bears or anything like that.
I mean, I hate all of the above except for bears.
I was going to say, you hate leopards and lions?
Jack, I feel like leopards and lions hate me.
Yeah, they hate people.
Really?
No, that's actually not. I mean,
I mean, they sing songs.
They do.
And they hang with toucans and baboons and etc.
Technically, he's a mandrill, Rafiki. He's a mandrill,
which
is
you're a nerd drill
subspecies of baboon. Okay.
Yeah,
I want to make that clear.
Okay, David Attenborough, continue with your story.
But everybody loves carnivores. I mean, at least everybody talking. We name all our sports teams after them. The point being, people that get upset.
Not the Milwaukee Bucks.
Not the Milwaukee Bucks. No. Bucks. Actually, so I was at Red Rocks today.
No.
This is cool. I was like, wait. I was at Red Rocks today, and we finished up, and we just noticed a deer fucking climbing the rocks, and just it would stop and look at people as they'd walk by, and it just kept clopping up, and the workers were going up to each other hey. And then they would see one, and they'd just be like, I don't know what you want me to do about it. I'm not going to go, grab the deer and pull it out, you know what I mean? And just scaled all the way up the rocks, and then just went to the side and hopped off. And I was just like, well, nature is coming back. It's taking its land back, man. It's a better thing to see than to tell.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to say today.
I just wanted to shut that down to be a dick. That was actually kind of a cool story because, I mean,
cool.
like, I didn't know deer existed in Colorado in the first place.
It was what?
Like, they pull Santa's sleigh.
Oh my god.
That's where deers exist.
Sammy P.
So this is, like, kind of cool.
Santa's sleigh is pulled by bison. Okay, that's very common knowledge. I don't want to make you sound.
It's pulled by Dyson vacuums.
Yes. That's how he gets the suction.
When
Gets
did
off
that
the ground.
happen?
Yeah, I don't. Freaking 21st century, dude. Santa's got to keep up with trends.
Shows how much I know about Santa. That's no wonder he stopped visiting me. But
Yeah. One time he gave me like. We were asking, like, my family was playing the game where, like, you know, you get presents if you're good, coal if you're bad. What if you're just like, and I'm just like, we settled on.
what if you wanted coal? And then you get coal in your stocking, and your siblings are all like, "Ooh, you were bad," and it's just like, "No, I was actually pretty fucking good this year because this is what I wanted." And then they get coal. He's like, "Oh, look who's bad now, motherfucker!" And you know why he wanted coal? Because he's a degenerate gambler.
I agree.
He hedged his bets so he would win both ways.
Yes, and see, but I think that's just smart. I've been recently telling my clients in particular a lot lately. I'm like,
To become degenerate gamblers?
kind of, because I tell them, I'm like, honestly, cheating is just being smarter than your opponent. You know what I mean?
Well, and having the moral bankruptcy to be able to break the rules and ruin integrity. And I mean, like, I do, so it's not that big of a deal.
I was gonna say, I think morals and integrity are just kind of like a
I would
handicap,
look at
you
the
know?
other side of the screen every time I play 2-player games.
Every time. Yeah, me too.
If you didn't screen cheat, what are you doing?
I screen cheat in Madden all the time.
I mean, that one's kind of impossible not to because you're sharing the exact same screen. I'm
That
talking
is
about, like, playing Halo or some shit, Call of Duty.
Yeah, where you got to be active while they're active.
Yeah,
makes
and then you
sense.
could just be like, okay, they stopped moving. Let me glance and see where they're camped, and then you go and find them, and then you kill them. Mm-hmm. And when you're playing against people like Wes, who will just hold you down and feed you white dog shit, like
the kids and Step Brothers. Yeah,
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And
Hear that, Wes?
you gotta get a little advantage.
Wes, you're a bully in video games. We've been waiting 10 years to tell you.
Yeah, just because I win once doesn't mean I want to go play basketball, man.
I think he would always say things to me when I would complain about how bad I was at video games or basketball, like, you should practice more and get better, and I'd be like, oh.
But that's like a lot of time.
Yeah, I don't wanna. You know what's
Why
easy?
can't it just be casual?
Watching TV is easy. Like, that
You're
sounds
telling me.
great. Yeah, it sounds like exactly what I want to do. But Sammy B, tell me about your week, my friend.
Yes.
Tell me about what's been happening in the life
What did
of
we
B.
do?
Sammy.
I did 2 open mics.
Nice. How'd they go?
Yep. All right. I mean, like, it was. I didn't get home till midnight last night.
Yeah.
And from the Scruffy Murphys one, but I also didn't go up until like third to last.
That'll happen.
And the whole show got interrupted and postponed for a good like 15, 20 minutes because of the goddamn fireworks at Coors Field.
Oh yeah, that was pretty. That was
It
crazy.
was cool because I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting this, but also, I have to wait longer for my set.
Yeah, I got really lucky getting out of there. I made a mistake. We're kind of jumping into mine, but I was in the same area of town as you were.
Oh, that's right. And I was
yeah.
just thinking, like, wait, he's down here. Like,
Yeah.
literally just up the street. Because
Yeah.
all of the places that Mike's and the theaters are off Larimer. Like, that just dawned on me last night when I was getting there. And I was like, whoa.
Like I don't even think we were a block away from each other.
No.
Yeah,
No, I walked past Grafenberg to get to Scruffy Murphy's because I parked, pretty far down.
Oh yeah, right. Because
in the $6 parking. Yeah, because the fucking Rockies game. I forgot that the price of
like
parking
$40.
goes up.
Yeah.
Yeah, in some places it was like 50, 60. I'm like, Jesus Christ, how do you qualify that?
Mm-hmm. And I went. What happened was after practice, I had some cash in my wallet, and he said, "Oh, what? There's a place called Denver Rec I really like. I'm gonna go buy a couple joints and just hang out and drive home and smoke and listen to some music, whatever." And I went, I got the joint, and I started smoking immediately. Once I got in the car, it was all good. I'm driving, and then I went on Park Avenue, which is right next to Coors Field.
Yeah.
And I'm like smoking, and there's smoke coming out the windows. I'm jamming, and I looked, and I was like, "Oh, there's police everywhere."
Everywhere.
Yeah, literally on every
it
street
was just
corner.
yeah. Well, one, it was a sporting event, Jack.
Yeah.
There's more police than usual around that
A
area.
lot more, yeah.
Also, they're blowing shit up in the field.
It's true. It's true. Nobody noticed me. I didn't stop, nor did they notice me.
But also,
so.
I don't think they give much of a fuck anymore, man.
No, you just I mean, like obviously, it'd be smart if you're smoking and driving and whatever. But
I mean,
yeah.
like, don't advocate it though.
I don't advocate it. I don't. Don't follow my example. If there's one thing anybody should take from this podcast, it is don't try and be like me. It's a bad idea.
Oh, but here you are boasting about followers.
Yeah, no, those are the
Those
people.
ones made the mistakes.
They made the mistakes. Yeah, I don't think they're smart.
Now they're paying the price of having to work for you.
They're fucking waddling like penguins down Wadsworth right now
That's
as
what's
we
up.
speak, with their kids in between their legs. Like,
That's what's up.
I'm not doing that. I'm here having fun. You know,
No, but you're the one who put that idea in their head. But anyway,
that's what I do. So 2 open mics went well.
yeah, first one was at the Rising Sun Distillery, which is like a really small distillery, like off of Zuni. It's kind of by Mile High Field Sports Authority. But that one I just was, getting back into it, and that was fine. And it was all comedians. There wasn't a single like public guest or anything like that. And then the second one was the Scruffy Murphys one, and I was up so late that it didn't even hardly matter.
Yeah.
There was like 5 people in the
Yeah,
room.
you talked into a mic on a stage, man.
Well, yeah, and got to meet your boy Derek Walton.
Ah, yeah, Derek, good guy.
He remembered you.
He
wanted
did?
to say what's up.
How nice.
He
Hey,
said, "What's up, Jack?"
What's up, Derek?
Yeah.
What's up? I'm gonna be at that mic someday. Someday. Yeah.
Oh, you should come next week because he said he could put me up earlier because I was waiting so long.
Ooh, there we go.
Yeah, because
Derek's a good dude.
Yeah, he was really, really nice. Like,
He
I really liked meeting
loves
him.
The Simpsons. Like he's one of those guys that loves The Simpsons, which is awesome.
I wish I grew up with The Simpsons, man. I only experienced The Simpsons like in good extent on my initial Lake Powell trips as a kid.
Yeah, I grew up with The Simpsons and all that, but like I don't know them as well. Like I used to think I loved The Simpsons, and then I met people that love The Simpsons.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, that's what that's
Yeah,
like.
whoa, you guys are into it. Well,
I love it. It's great.
Like people with Family Guy and shit, it's just like, oh yeah, I didn't know people could be this big of fans.
Yes.
Because right now the only animated show whose fans are like that are like Rick and Morty. You know,
Rick and Morty is
intense,
a whole new thing. Yeah.
chill out. I mean, I love the show. It's a great show. I was just watching it over at Tanner's earlier. It was a pretty great time. But yeah, no, chill.
Yeah. I get it. I get it.
What else?
What else happened this week?
I'm trying to remember. I don't know.
Nice. Still productive
I
week.
don't know. I went to those 2 mics.
2 mics.
I did all of my laundry. Whoa, that's
we go.
actually a big deal.
Yeah?
I haven't done like proper laundry in a good like 3 months. I'll do a load here and there, mostly just underwear and socks, but just, it's all been on the floor and in the laundry. Like, Jack, I'm not kidding you when I tell you that there were mountains of laundry in the laundry room, like taking up like over half.
Damn. Well, hey.
Actually, no, I'm probably exaggerating. Over the half available space, because the other half is boxes and cabinets that we removed from the kitchen. So, but still, like you had just a little narrow path. And I mean, you've seen a good extent of how bad my laundry can get by living at the house and being like, oh, I can't walk through his room anymore.
Right? Yeah. We gotta go the alternate route.
Yeah, I gotta go all the way around because I have that door pinned shut.
Yeah.
With a mountain of clothes.
Which is clothing. Yes. Yeah.
Because, like, I understand that, people are like, wow, how do rich people have so many clothes? And it's just because, like, when they get dirty, they just buy new clothes.
Yeah.
And I would do that because my clothes would be dirty for months at a time. So I'd just be like, I should buy some new clothes, huh? Also, I feel like I have an unhealthy t-shirt collection going.
Yeah, I got a lot of tees. That I, quite frankly, I don't know. I need to change it up.
I'm over the teenage, man.
Yeah.
It was fun when we were living in the house and actually living that workaholic's life. But I just look at some of them and I'm just like, I can't go outside like that. What kind of message am I sending?
I understand.
One of them literally says no future on it. One of them says everything dies.
Yeah.
There's still a couple that I like, but it's just like, no, it was cool.
Hey, you're making a point, man. You're making a point, and that's what the people want to see. People want to see that you have an opinion and a stance. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I also have so many clothes stuffed in that drawer that I need to go and sort them out and take a Goodwill run because it's absurd.
Yeah, I got to start rethinking my style a little bit, getting it tightened up.
What are you thinking about your style, Jack?
What am I thinking about my style, my current style?
What do you want to upgrade it to, huh?
I just want to be a little bit more matching. I want to be a little bit more intentional with what I wear.
I feel like you're really gonna adopt the mankinis.
That could happen. That could happen.
Yeah, gonna run around like Borat.
Yeah, dude. People would look. People would. If you want attention, get a mankini.
If you don't want to feel invisible anymore,
that's right.
Throw on a mankini, neon,
and run everywhere you go.
Yeah,
everywhere you go, run. But don't act like you're a weirdo in a mankini running everywhere.
Nope.
Be yourself.
Be yourself.
Be friendly. Be nice. Own your body. Have fun with it. Wear white Skechers shoes.
Skechers, interesting. Shape ups.
Oh, I didn't even think
that
about
would be cool, actually, because then you get around mankini style, but also you're toning.
That's
because you got to tone your glutes and your hammies and your calves when you're walking with your ass out.
And you can never really bitch about not being tan anymore,
you won't have a tan line.
No, I mean, you'll have a mankini tan line.
Yeah, but also, I mean, like, you could just slide them over and just, do a periodical shift so that you don't get a tan line.
Every 50 minutes of work, you should stand up and walk. Every 50 minutes, you should adjust your mankini straps. You know what I mean? I think...
Speaking of the tan, I burned my fucking head yesterday.
Did ya?
Left my hat at home. And I put sunscreen on, and sunscreen just doesn't help.
No, sunscreen is not a...
Sunscreen?
Sunscreen?
Is that a new invention?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It's screen for your...
It's okay, buddy. Take 5.
But it's sensitive down there. It's sensitive, down for your scrum.
Oh, your scrum?
Scrum.
You're talking about butthole or a bussy.
I'm talking about your scrotum. Your bottom brain. Your apple bag. Your tight raggedy sack.
I get it. I thought you were going to run out of examples way sooner. Way sooner. I didn't think you were going to keep running with it, man.
Your hairy camel pouch.
Wow. Enough. But yeah, I did my lunch.
Let's talk about my scrotum.
Oh no! You don't go back to that. I had the segue, and that was it. Boom.
I agree.
Now you talk about your week.
My week. What did I do this week? What did I do since Tuesday? Let's see. Wednesday. I don't think I did my. I just hung out. Had a pretty normal week. Went through. Did. Yeah, really nothing too crazy. Started working on a big project that I'm very excited about. That
years in the making.
Years in the making, and hopefully I want to talk about it over the podcast a little bit more as it develops.
Well, yeah. The thing is, we can't go talking about our ideas.
Exactly. This is too public a platform.
Yeah. It could be plugged in anywhere, and people will just be like, "Whoa."
Yeah.
That's an idea I can jump on.
We could talk about our monkey knuckles, but we can't talk about our projects and our ideas.
I can talk about my Alien vs. Predator project because nobody's going to touch that.
There we go. You don't think anybody will?
If they do, I will murder them.
Yeah. Well, hey, my project, I got a little gas in the fire now. After hearing some news and whatnot. Not really news, but anyway, so that's cool. That's really been kind of my focus all week is developing that and putting in the time and making sure that happens. Working a lot, working out, and just trying to spend more time with the people I love.
And just putting as many as between as your words.
I really don't know if I.
Dude, you could be such a good pilot. This is Captain Anderson. We're seeing the winds change and come from us behind, and we'll see about landing in Denver.
Do you remember that
soon.
bit when I used to do that all the time? When I used to be like an airline pilot, and it would piss you and Joey off in particular so much.
Was it in the library?
No, whenever I would drive people around.
Oh yeah, and then you would come in like you were on a CB radio. You would grab it and just be like, and it's just like, buddy, are you a trucker or a pilot?
Dude, that's what they
and
talk
also, that is just one of those things that you did driving. I'm really glad that sophomore and junior year are just a blurry mix of things that I've both forgotten and kind of remember, but they all feel like 1 year because of them all those concussions.
Yeah.
So I forgot about that, and I'm actually happy.
Yeah, but now I'm never going to stop doing it.
Oh no, because that memory was replaced by us being able to announce Joey onto the Miami Dolphins.
That is true. What a fun, guys! I'm calling it the 2020 NFL Draft. Number 1 draft pick's going to be Big Joey Bustum, getting picked by the Miami Dolphins, right tackle out of Littleton Columbine High School.
The Thor theme song. And
that.
the thing is that you timed it so well the first time that it made me die laughing, but it just broke him. He was just like, God damn it.
Yeah, he didn't like that at all.
Well, and the thing is about the timing that when you nail it like that, it's like they can't help but respect you.
They can't, it's
They're just like, that was so well crafted, that way they pissed me the fuck off.
That's really all I do. That's my art. And yeah, other than that, I'm getting ready for upcoming 4th of July week and all that good stuff.
Yes, indeed.
And then, just living and focusing, taking it one day at a time and enjoying.
Are you, early to bed, early to rise?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I don't really want to be, but
penny
I have
saved
to be.
is a penny earned.
Yeah, I'm waking up at 5, like 4 or 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Which, I know that's nothing for you.
I'm starting at 5.
Oh,
poor baby.
Yeah,
Ugh.
poor
You don't have to
baby.
set 3 alarms at 4:15, 4:30, and 4:35.
No, mine are just at 5, 5:01, and 5:02. Those are my 3 alarms.
All in the span of 3 minutes, but also if you snooze all 3 of them, that's 9 minutes until you get it again.
That's right.
That is infuriating to think about, Jack.
Dude, I do it every morning.
Yeah, do you have radar as your alarm?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That is the most disruptive goddamn sound on this planet. It is an unholy sound.
The one
I'll hear it just like out in the world. I'll be alone in a room and then I'll just hear and I'm just like, who's that?
It happens a lot at gyms. Yeah, the gym, because fucking people are always, timing their shit and whatnot. And I'll hear it.
You can feel it in your molars.
The one I can't deal with anymore is a really old one. It's like bell chimes. It was like church bell chimes, like ding.
Oh
ding,
yeah,
ding,
no,
ding,
my mom
ding,
had
ding.
that one when she had an iPhone, and I really didn't like that one either.
I can't stand it anymore.
And I remember
because I did it for 0 hour. And when 0 hour, you got to wake up at, I don't know, what was it, like 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
Well,
you have to be there at 5:45, right?
And we're children at this point.
Yeah, we're still in high school.
very
We're growing
young
boys.
kids.
Where they're saying that high school kids especially need to be going to school later. He's having us go even early.
Significantly earlier. to work out. Yeah.
Hard.
Yeah, before class. I got nothing against working out in the mornings. I do it sometimes. And
Yeah, but we had to work out twice a day.
yes, we did. Yes, that's and then, it's good for you. You never want to complain too much about health, but
Yeah, I do
at the same
because,
time.
but also, I haven't worked out in a very long time, and it's really starting to affect me. My back is a wreck.
Let me get you in the gym, Sammy B.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You gonna pay for my membership at 24?
No, you're gonna pay me to train you.
No,
I'm good.
it's a favor. Get the fuck out of my face.
I'm pretty good.
I'm sure because you're not fired.
I have been not at that company 2 times though, and then I've been rehired 3.
Yeah.
Proud of that. I'm sad actually. The manager who brought me back this second time is transferring clubs on Friday.
Are you shitting me right now?
It's like I'm losing a dad. It's kind of sad, He's a
Okay,
good
you're gonna
guy.
compare a guy who you cower from every day.
Who I cower from.
Yes. You're terrified of this man.
He's scary. He's a scary fella.
I mean, he has your job in his hands.
He does.
He has
does.
your paper.
Mm-hmm.
He can fuck with your paper, dog.
It's pretty fun. I trained him for a brief period last year, and that was pretty fun because then it was kind of the reverse. It's like, aha, I have the power over you now. I can make you sweat. I can make you tired. And then he stopped training with me, and I lost that power quickly.
Well, Jack, at least you had it in the first place.
That's all that matters. That's really about it for my week. I thought it was more interesting, but I really...
Hey, man, it's okay. I mean, that just means you got to try harder next week.
Hey, it was a relaxing week. Like, I feel good. I have a lot of energy this
You
week.
got to put one foot in front of the other. You got to pick up what's put down.
That's right. That's
you
right.
gotta,
You have to sweat the grind, dude. You gotta keep your head up, but your eyes down, and you gotta.
Death before dishonor.
That is huge, huge.
Yeah,
You can't forget that one.
I know.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, death before dishwashers too.
Yeah. Speaking of Chernobyl,
There's the segue, huh?
there's a lot of. I'm sure there's a lot of dishwashers in Chernobyl.
I mean, none that we saw.
None that are working currently.
No.
But there's a
But
lot
we
of
did
apartments.
watch the HBO miniseries, 5-part miniseries on
Five-part
HBO.
miniseries, yes.
Chernobyl.
It was. You know what? It's so strange because I really do think it lives up to the hype in the sense that, like, I watched it as it was going, so I was like, yeah, no, this is awesome, this is an amazing show. But, like, it's weird that show got this popular.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's only 5 episodes.
So it's easy to track.
And let's see where it's at. It is still the number 1 show on the top 250 shows of all time on IMDb. That skyrocketed, like, fucking, that's like Rick and Morty being in the top 10. Chill!
Yeah. Well, and this one in particular it's 5 episodes.
Band of Brothers is 10, though, and that's been in the top 5 for well over, 18 years now.
As long as I've known that list exists. Yeah.
And then there's Planet Earth 2, which displaced Planet Earth 1.
Which wasn't really ever a TV show.
Right, no, it wasn't.
It's an episodic documentary.
Yeah, it's not even a documentary. It's just like, hey, look, this happens around the Earth.
All the time.
All the time. And then, like, Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad have been in strong competition in that top 10. And then here comes Chernobyl.
Just
literally blowing them up. Boom.
Was that an explosion?
Like Reactor 4.
That's right. Reactor 4, which, there's some real foolishness on all parts there.
Well, I loved how the whole thing starts. It does start, unfortunately, with Dr. Boy hanging himself.
Yes.
But then right after that, it shows the inside the apartment of the firefighter and the curly-haired chick. And then you just see through the window just like a big fireball, followed by a couple seconds later that huge explosion sound.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yep, that's how you start this fucking show, man, because it's what it's about. It's what it's about.
And that was really brilliant in keeping tension the entire time, and then made the payoff at the end that much more worth it. Yeah.
And then, like, right after that, we get to go see inside the control room. Isn't that, like, where the one guy was like, wasn't that an explosion?
Yes, yeah. The one, the doctor or the mustache guy. What was his name? I can't.
Oh.
I don't know why I looked this up.
I gotta look.
They're all Russian names.
I remember
Dyatlov.
Oh, Dietlov.
Dyatlov.
Yeah.
Mr. Dyatlov being a real jerk.
Well, yeah, he was the worst because all the guys he was working with were just like, all of this is fucked up. All of this shouldn't be like this. And then they would come to him. He's just like, I've been working here for 25 years. You're being retarded.
Yeah.
Like, he was straight up calling them R words and stuff like that. He was being so cruel to them. He's just like, I think I would know. And it would be absurd that this factory exploded.
Yeah. Like, it was so strange how aggressive he was. And there are people like that, you know? And you see something like that. You see a person like that in a point of power that literally, I mean, I'm sure he got there because obviously he kissed ass and passed tests, obviously pretty easy tests, that, you know, these people can get in power and they can control everything. You know what I mean?
Well, he's been working in nuclear reactors for 25 years, and none of them ever on the history of the planet up until that point have ever gotten near a meltdown, let alone would need to be, you know, in this position. So, I mean, like, I don't think he worked at Chernobyl his entire career, so he could have been to all sorts of different ones around the country and just been like, yeah, all these run the same, and none of them have had problems. Why would they start having problems now?
Right. Well, and he's clearly someone who thinks he's smarter than everybody in the room, obviously. Yeah. He's someone that really likes power and likes being in charge.
And that's just kind of how the Russian mentality is that when they're above, you know, if he feels like he earned that spot even though they're in a communist place, but no one's allowed to question him. You know, and that's how you know, Stellan Skarsgård was. And the thing that made it so interesting when what's his face, Legasov, Dr. Legasov, confronted old Gorbachev there, straight up, because it's just like in, you know, Russia, USSR Russia, you don't speak out of turn.
No,
you don't speak, especially to the president, out of turn.
Which is but
thank God he did.
Yeah, and I like his ending. I loved his character in general because his whole thing was, I don't know, you did this, man. I don't know.
All of this shouldn't have happened, but here it is happening, and you guys don't want to listen.
And they're like, it rides on you. And he's like, why? Yeah, like, I know more about this than anybody.
I know a lot about this stuff, but also, this isn't my fault. I'm not the one who built these cheap factories.
And then that's all, that all comes to fruition when he, you know, is the one that tells the full truth. You know, like, okay, you hired this guy, he solved the problem, he fixed it, and you disrespected science, which means you disrespected the way the world works, which means you get in trouble. Karma comes around. That's the thing.
I really loved his relationship with Stellan Skarsgård.
Loved it, yeah.
Because they just, like, really didn't get along at all. He's just like, oh, I've been trying to tell you this shit. Yeah. Now there's this other thing that this lady has made, you know, my attention. So we got to go all the way back, and it's going to cost a lot more men and a lot more money.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is.
I love it. They call him in. They're like, you're the only one that can solve this. And then everything he says, they say, nah.
Well, and if
I don't think so.
Yeah, if the doctor, the lady doctor, didn't show up, the whole thing would have melted down into the Black Sea. Like,
yeah, dude,
she's just like, well, you don't want to throw the boron sand on it because it'll just turn into fucking lava, stupid.
Which is
just
insane.
Like, I know, like all the things they were trying to do.
This made me appreciate science a lot.
Yeah, well, and it made me appreciate the fucking fragility and dangers of nuclear power. Yeah, you know, because I mean, a bomb is one thing that's designed to explode. This thing had the reactors going off and the black, like, spiral cloud of smoke going out of it, just throwing out radiation, just throwing it all out. You know, they dealt with the graphite touching people.
Yep.
And oh my God, so like, that first night happens, and it's very clear that the reactor exploded, much to Dyatlov being like, no.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
And they start seeing graphite on the ground, which shouldn't be there because that's from inside the core, which means the entire core is exposed. So they're just like, call the firefighters. The firefighters show up casually. Then a lot of them start getting those sunburns, the radiation sunburns. And then, it's not even the people on the inside. Those people on the inside, like, they're fucking all, some are buried, some are dying, some of them are just getting radiated, just microwaved the fuck out of in there. And then, like, I remember the one where they had to go into the core, the two guys at the end that got interviewed. When they had to go into the core and they saw that, like, straight up looked into it and everything. Yeah. The guy was holding the door open, and then when they got back through, they let go, and, like, the radiation from the backside of the door just fucking went through his skin and his hips started bleeding. And it's just like, God damn.
It's nasty.
How did we discover this?
That's what I kept thinking the whole time.
Like, how did they come up with nuclear power plants like this?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, how have we been able to make this happen?
Yeah, because I know Marie Curie discovered all the fucking radiation stuff, but she died because of it.
Yeah.
And then people are like, oh, we need to put it in stuff.
Yeah.
You can't just be holding uranium rods all willy the fuck nilly.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's weird because it's like they say, it's unlike anything that has been seen on Earth, which, makes it so interesting, like the impact that human beings have on this planet.
Well, because, we did have that meltdown in Japan and then 3 Mile Island here, but none of them exploded.
Right.
And so this one, this is the first time anything that severe has happened and had a core exposed, blasting it out into the air.
Yeah.
And so, like, the firefighters show up, none the wiser. And then that one touched the graphite and it burned through the glove and started, like, melting his fucking hand. Yeah. And, all of them get, hospitalized later. But after that night, that's really all they had was call up the Dr. Legasov, and he's just like, hey, want to come talk at the Kremlin, maybe? Like, something kind of happened.
Yeah, something.
Like, they had no urgency.
No.
They let so much more radiation get into the atmosphere because they were just so like, oh, this is absurd. That's not happening. They're lying to us. That's not happening.
It's one of those things like when you use in the bathroom and you're running out of toilet paper. Like, you're almost out, And then the fateful day comes where you need another wipe.
I don't need to get the roll right after I get up, even though I've just, used the last slice.
That's right. And that was pretty much how Russia handled Chernobyl.
Yeah.
It was like they forgot to buy toilet paper and they were out.
Yeah.
So they just kind of let that shit sit and stink.
They're just like, God damn it, now I got to waddle up the stairs to the cabinet with my pants down and shit butt.
And
then I got to go all the way back down. Mm-hmm. That's honestly how it seemed like the people who went under the factory seemed. But then, like, the thing that was just crazy to me too was that once they finally got the convincing, it would just be one thing after another. It just wasn't going right. Everything they were trying was just like, oh, well, this sets off this other reaction, which means we have to do this, which means we have to go hire some more people that are gonna die probably as a side effect of this thing. Like, they had them dropping the sand over the top, and then that one helicopter just fucking, like, went through the smoke, and then just the guy died. He just died right away.
Dude, it's such a chain reaction. Like, radiation is so complex. And it's literally like you're holding both your arms out, and you've got sticks with plates on the top of them, and you're balancing all of those. And the fact that we can do it in general, and more often than not, it's relatively successful, is insane.
And it's always just on a little teetering thing.
At any given point, it could snap. At any wrong decision.
Yep.
Like these, you put these guys, like the two guys, the young guys that end up like kind of doing it, because they were forced to by. Dyatlov?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The younger guy is the one with the glasses and the skinnier guy.
Yeah, and you got to look back and forth. Well, actually, no, they did try and not do it. They tried and tell him, we can't. I can't.
Yeah, we're going to die and stuff. And he's just like, okay.
Yeah.
Have fun.
I just can't believe that they allowed that to happen. It's just too much. This is what happens when you focus too much on what you're trying to do versus what you're actually doing.
Well, and orders and everything, and it's just like, I don't know. I feel like with their genuine panic of the way it was building up that they were describing in the last episode, they could have convinced their comrades to turn on him. Just be like, this guy is a lunatic. We need to shut down this factory now.
Yeah, exactly.
I keep calling it a factory. It's a plant.
Yeah, it's a plant. So the plant makes the radiation the nuclear energy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then
it's supposed to convert it. So like the uranium that they're using fires it off, and then I think they use fusion or I can't remember which one fusion or fission is, but they fire essentially uranium atoms that are let off by the uranium at each other, and then they let off little explosions, and then they use the power from that explosion to harness electricity and provide it to the town.
How did people figure that out?
Right?
How?
I mean, the only way I can remember is like Mr. Mack's class.
Yeah.
We were talking about some radiation stuff and
Mr.
how they.
Mack reminds me of like a stone Jason Bateman.
Yes. I was just going to say Jason Bateman.
Yeah.
Jason Bateman. Sam.
Sam.
I got so much attention with him, but he liked me.
I loved him. He was great.
But, like, they put it in, like, a chamber, I guess, and it would be, like, uranium on one side and then some sort of, like, paper or something on the other, and they would just fire the molecules at it, and then there would be holes that, would be poked through the paper, and they're just like, interesting. What if we put two things of uranium in the thing and fire them at each other, and they're supposed to, create energy that way. Yeah. At least that's my general understanding of it, and it's very general.
Yeah.
But
I barely have any.
That reaction is going on within the core, thousands and thousands and thousands of times, and they need to constantly keep it cool. They need to keep a certain amount of, like, those power rods and stuff like that. It's such a delicate balance. But the thing is that button was supposed to shut it down.
Right.
Because if it was able to, then it wouldn't have been a problem. And so, like, when they hit that button, as they were describing at the end, the control rods, when they came out, because they had that graphite tip, because...
why does that exist? I know it's cheaper, but, like, you should know, right?
I know, yeah. Well, and maybe they were just that confident that, like, whoever the architect was or whoever the engineer designing it was just like, I mean, like, I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
But also, it's absurd. There's never been a meltdown on this kind of a, scale where you need to... That the core has built up that much energy that when you press that, I can't remember the name of the button, AZ5 or whatever, yeah, it would shut it off because it's small enough. But the energy got so big that it didn't even matter.
Yeah.
Once the graphite things stuck out even a little bit, the rod stopped coming in to shut it down, and the graphite heated it up even more, so it fucking exploded. That was one thing in that last episode when they were going through. I loved how they did that structure, because we just started off with the explosion. Then the last episode, it was them going to trial against Dyatlov, and
it made me look forward to the backstory so much.
Yeah, because I'm just like, what event led to this?
Yeah,
because it couldn't have just been some random what have you. And so when they're going through everything, it was that one shot when right before he hit the button, where the core was, reactor was getting really, really violently powerful and stuff. And it's like talking about these things on top of the core, these weighted blocks that weigh like an absurd amount of weight.
Yeah. And
they're just, popping up like pins, like popcorn. And they're just like one of those push pin things where you could push your hand in it. Yeah, it looked like that.
Yeah,
and it was just like, wow, it's generating that much power. They're just tossing those fucking things up like, the bouncing little pins.
Crazy.
And then the button exploded it. And Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's just it's amazing that you gotta respect the intricacies of things. And
right.
After watching that, you gotta really respect every piece of a design.
And when you're dealing with something on that scale of fucking destruction at stake, 60 million people were at risk of dying. All of Ukraine would have been gone. Belarus, a lot of all these other countries would have just been like, whoosh.
Yeah, just gone.
If they let that thing fully explode.
I couldn't believe it got that big. It could have been. Well, honestly, right, if they didn't control it, the idea was it was going to spread,
yeah, well,
beyond,
through just the atmosphere.
Right.
It would just get into the clouds and then rain down radioactive rain. So, it's still spread pretty goddamn far. What was it, 2,600 kilometers around Chernobyl is no man's land?
Yeah. What was the death numbers that you told me about?
Yeah, so it said officially on record in Russia, 31 people died. And then... later numbers come out that around 4,000 to 93,000 probably died as a result.
Good
and
God.
It's like people that helped, like the miners and stuff like that.
The miners were great.
Yeah, the miners
Just
were great.
Swinging around them apple bags.
Yeah, they just like, you know what, fuck it, it's hot in those caves.
Yeah.
We're all getting naked because we're all going to die anyways. Those paper fucking sacks aren't going to help us.
Yeah, seriously.
I loved the miners because they were just so no bullshit, so hard Russian. But everybody in this whole series had a British goddamn accent.
Yeah. And they're like,
it was like Enemy at the Gates. Remember that movie with Jude Law?
Oh, yeah.
Playing the sniper. Ed Harris has his American accent playing a German guy.
It's a straight cowboy Nazi.
Right? I got hired.
Yeah, I got the job.
They had more money.
They like me. I don't know. People like me.
I don't care about their policies. I just like shooting people in the head for money.
Classic.
I like shooting Ron Perlman as he jumps across a gap.
Oh, yeah. I forgot our old Ronnie Pease. Ronnie Pease died.
But anyway, back to Chernobyl. The thing that was just like, there's so many certain parts how they were going through this that it was just like, one, the amount of cigarettes people were sucking down. They were just all so stressed.
Yeah.
And it was just like, And then just another thing would keep coming across Lugasov's desk. And it would just be like, God damn it. Well, we can't throw sand on it anymore. And then, God damn it, we got to shut off these pumps because if the core melts down to it, it's going to build steam and make an even bigger explosion. So we got to send 3 guys down there. And they, got those guys to volunteer, which I thought that was pretty great. How
that ending,
yeah,
the lights go out and their flashlights.
Oh my God,
out.
that shit was terrifying.
Yeah.
I watched that right before bed.
Yeah,
that was the worst thing to do, man. Because I was watching it, and that was episode 2, right? They go down, and then all you hear is their Geiger counters going crazy. It's just like, just.
Yeah.
And then just their lights go out one by one, and I'm just like, no!
Oh, no! I know.
How do you leave us like that?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God! Thank God that I let the entire series play out, so I didn't have to wait till the next week. I'm sure that whole week you were just thinking about it, like, those guys are down under this nuclear reactor in the dark.
In the dark, like pitch dark.
In these crazy scuba suits that have never been used for anything before.
Yeah, exactly.
And, they're, like, in water, too.
And even if they go back, it's so dark.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of twists and turns. It's a big building,
And they managed at the beginning of the next episode to have those crank lights, which I was just like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, I know.
And then I was just like, how much are they going to show us of the back and forth between being under there? Because, I'm going to just have an anxiety attack this entire episode if it's just going to be what they're doing up top and what's going on down below.
Yeah.
And then the next scene you see, they just come walking up and they're like, hey, high fives all around. Yeah.
Very, very low stat.
And I was just like, oh, thank God. Yeah. I don't think I was ready to be just that emotionally being like, oh my God, these guys are cooking their insides right now.
The tense one was getting the graphite off the roof.
That one was too. Oh my God. But the thing that was crazy about those guys who went under the plant, none of them died because of it.
Really?
None of them got cancer or died.
Oh shit.
Because of it.
Did you look that up? Or?
They said it at the end of the episode.
Oh, yeah,
at the end of the last episode. It was just like, none of these guys got anything.
Yeah, they're all good. Huh?
And it's just like, you know what? That's the G-Man giving them back because they made that sacrifice.
They're the ones that just say, yeah, exactly.
You know, and then they had to go to the miners to go and dig out. I can't remember what they were digging out.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
Because it was to keep it from melting and getting into the water source and poisoning the Black Sea. Mm-hmm. There's so many things that kept building up on it, and then
poisoning the entire.
All right, now we got to
Sea.
get the graphite off the roof, so we need the entire army to get involved.
Yeah,
and they recruit so many people, like tens of thousands of people in this effort. So they get the army involved to get that graphite off the roof. Which that
was intense because it's so hard. One, it's like super like drill sergeant orderly. Like we have this much time.
You cannot spend a moment past 30 seconds on this roof where you were fucking dead. Like, not dead, fucking dead.
Yeah, and
they have those really rudimentary suits.
And all you can use is a shovel.
Yeah, all you can do is a shovel.
Big pieces
Throw as many of those pieces. And were they just chucking them down into the core?
Yeah,
okay.
They're just heaving them into the core, getting them off that roof.
Yeah.
Why do they need to get them off the roof?
I can't remember.
Okay.
Because there were a couple parts that I did kind of doze off at that it was just like exposition stuff.
Yeah.
But it was
this show made me feel dumb. Like, this show made me feel stupid at what's out there, you know?
Right.
Like, the things that other people know.
Yeah, that people are in charge of that could just absolutely annihilate so many people that we don't have any idea about.
No, yeah, we have no clue, and we're completely at the mercy of it all.
Yeah,
you know?
and it's just like, well, allegedly we're in capable hands.
Yes.
Because I can't do it. You can't do it.
No.
Who would do it?
No. It's like that Joe Rogan podcast we listened to, and he's like,
with Bob Lazar.
Bob Lazar. It's like you can drive a car. We can all drive a car, but you don't know how the fucking engine works.
Right.
You don't. You probably can't change a tire.
That's actually what I was thinking of. Was just like, they got fucking flying saucers and these crazy generators going on that we don't know about.
Yeah.
They could fuck around and really fuck something up, and we'll just be like, well. That wasn't us.
Have you watched the documentary on him?
No,
you should. Yeah, no, it's really cool. We should talk about that one in a future episode. But it's interesting. It's definitely. It makes you wonder because that was the thing. I think the biggest takeaway from Chernobyl that I can put into my life is one, respect the shit out of everything we have because it's quite frankly all made on eggshells.
Fucking with it too much.
Yeah, we are. We're getting a little too godlike. You know what I mean? And number two, be honest.
Yeah, the honesty deal.
That was
the
huge.
amount of lies that would just blow up in their fucking face was insane.
It's like this show came out at a really good time for me. Not that I was lying excessively, but I wasn't being truthful. Mm-hmm. You know?
Oh yeah, it happens.
Just in life. Yeah, exactly.
But that's the thing. It's like you think about the hospital scene with all the firefighters and the wife and stuff. It's like they live in this country where they're used to being lied to all the time. Yeah. So when the doctor said you cannot touch him, and she goes and immediately hugs him, she's just like, I don't believe that.
Yeah,
I just don't believe that. And then that got fucking brutal, dude.
Dude, a couple of things that we've talked about for sure, but I want to say on the podcast. One, with that wife. You bring up the point of lying actually gives me a little bit more empathy for her because literally what happens is her husband goes, he's a firefighter, he gets exposed, he gets fucked up. Oops, she goes, she's like, I gotta see my husband. Yeah. The first person's like,
and she's recently pregnant.
Recently pregnant, yes. And the first guy is like, no. And then he's like, you know what? Okay, he's at this hospital
because she had permission, and I can't remember how she got permission
from the military guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he was a firefighter.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that was the thing too. Was the female doctor knew she was pregnant? Did they meet up before?
I think she had an idea. I don't think she knew, but I think she had an idea. She could kind of tell. Yeah. Because when she goes to the hospital, she tells the nurse, she's like, "Hey, I want to see my husband. I got permission." And the nurse is like, "No, you can't."
Right.
And then she's like, "Please, please, 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 please." And then the nurse is cool.
Yeah. The nurse is doing her big solid,
breaking the law, allowing this woman to go back there is like, but you know what? I see the empathy. Yes, you can go.
Yeah, and
one condition: don't touch him.
And that was the thing too. Was unfortunately because the acute radiation syndrome steps and stuff is like initially they feel shitty. They get the sun or the rashes and the burns, and then stage 2, they have like this sort of remission phase while like all the radiation is setting in. They feel normal and actually seem totally fine. And that was the stage that she caught him in. Mm-hmm. And then very shortly that night, he is like burning up from the inside, like in complete convulsing pain. And somehow she's spending the night there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, she wasn't in the same room, but she comes barging into that room
She's
like
Christian.
she was the expert.
Yeah, and they're like, and I just every time I saw her on screen, I
was
just
like, oh, lady.
I would sing, I would go, "You stupid bitch," because
She was just doing some really stupid, impulsive shit.
really dumb, like just really just completely. And I get it; it's very emotional, it's very tense, and whatever.
Yeah, but what makes you special, lady?
Exactly.
All these other firefighters have wives that aren't clamoring into that radioactive quarantine zone.
Because they understand that shit went down.
Yeah.
And it's not fair. It's not good. Like, it's not, you shouldn't have to go through this, but you must.
Right.
Because if you want to survive in this world, there's just certain things you have to do. And then, I guess the best part, I don't want to say it's the worst part, but like her and her child survive and it's all good and like no cancer, no nothing, right? They say that at the very end. And part of me was just like,
No, that's not what happened.
what? No, it said I thought it said at the end.
No, the child died.
The child died?
Yeah, the child got horribly irradiated and deformed and died.
Oh, that's right. That's right. She had another kid, though, right?
She had another kid later.
Yeah. This is where, the kid actually died. The kid absorbed all of the
Yeah,
radiation.
it saved her life, but also just turned into a fucking blob and died.
God, I hate her so much.
But the thing
I
that
hate her.
was just so jarring for me was because, like, Lugasov says it in one episode when he's describing to Stellan Skarsgård how each stage goes. And then stage 3 is, vomiting, diarrhea, horrible, and then, like, GI bleeding and stuff. And then stage 4 is, like, death. He didn't mention, and neither did anything online mention, that this entire time that if you got exposed the way that they did, your entire skin and like other organs are just so irradiated that they're just developing cancer and basically eating away.
Yeah, literally.
Like, and so that last shot, like the last time you see that fucking firefighter that she was married to, like half of his face is gone. And he's just
gross.
this big white cancer blob, and it's just like,
Ew.
it's disgusting. He
gross.
looks, yeah.
I've told you this for sure, and I've told a lot of people, like,
Looked like burnt mozzarella.
yeah, it did look like a human being. It's just so gross.
It's so gross, and I'm like, oh my god.
I
Because
say-
that's what I was picturing, because of games like Fallout and other post-apocalyptic things like that, having deformed people or burnt up and stuff. But not like that, man. Not like that. And then the other guy, the glasses guy from the plant, when he was getting interviewed, they didn't even show him.
No.
They didn't even show him, because she comes out and she's like, he doesn't have a face.
Yeah. It's so. Like I've told you, I told other people that this show should win Best Makeup for sure.
Oh.
It should get the Emmy for Best Makeup, and then have it immediately ripped from their hands on stage, and they should say, "Never do something like this again. It's too gross."
Dare you?
Yeah, it's just
Scar us
disturbing.
like this.
I mean, it's impressive, but it's bad. It's bad, man.
It was rough. That sequence was rough.
Yeah.
And I was worried that they were going to show us how the miners
Oh,
fared.
yeah.
But
They kept that.
they kept that a secret. They saved it all for the end. But once they finally, I can't remember what the final move was to finally put out the fire.
Yeah, I can't remember either. Because they try so many
They
things.
try so many things.
Yeah, and it gets a little muddled. God, what they do? What do they do? Let me see. This is old Google.
Yeah.
How do they?
Google it.
Let's see. When Chernobyl blew, they dumped boron and sand into the breach.
Which that didn't work.
Yeah, a large fire rages in the ruins of number 4 reactor, the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. A hospital in the nearby town is overrun. Okay, that doesn't answer my question at all. This is
Well,
what would we? Yeah, I guess they dumped boron and sand.
I guess whatever they did, put it out.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, it worked. Obviously. Damn. What'd they do? How did they do it? It seems the big difference is the modern. A lot of this is about like modern nuclear plants.
Okay. Well, we don't care about them.
Yeah.
Oh, and then once the firefighters all finally died, they were put in the wooden coffins, then in those real thick lead coffins.
Yeah,
and buried in concrete. Buried in concrete,
Yeah.
super deep beneath the earth.
Cody, do you remember how they put the fire out in Chernobyl?
How'd they put the fire out?
Yeah. How did they stop it?
It was after the graphite on the roof.
Yeah, they went. They got the graphite off. I don't remember because the sand didn't work.
No, yeah.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
Can't
Didn't
remember.
they sent in the guys, right?
Mhm.
They sent
Yeah.
in the team of people.
The
Was that the sand?
the ones with the flashlights burnt out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
we
only-
talked about that one.
Yeah, they did something.
Yeah, yeah, or maybe they didn't. Maybe Chernobyl's still just pumping radiation.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say, you're still not supposed to go there. So
No.
maybe
Well,
never get
Not
it.
according to Russian Instagram models.
Yeah, go tell that to those Instagram models who are out there taking booty pics around the fucking no man's land.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun.
Were they hot?
I mean,
They'll-
I didn't see any pictures, but
What'd
I
you
heard
think of the
about
burn
them.
victims in episode 3? You think those people are hot?
Did the girls look like that?
They will. Give it 2 months.
Show me.
Yeah, let's see. I can find it. I want
I
to see
don't
it.
remember. That's bugging me. I don't know how. they put the
Russian.
fire out.
Come on, Jack.
It shows how much. Yeah, we're the best reviewers when we forget this shit.
I know. Model share.
Instagram model dies.
Yeah, I know, right? That's because of these people.
Oh, dude, go straight to images. Don't even mess with that.
There. Wait, hold on. They might have some. Come on, Jack Mack.
Jack
Oh
ones.
God.
Mac, did you really?
Yeah, see, this chick is in Chernobyl, man.
Wow.
She's just standing there,
Wow.
half. She's taking off her radiation uniform.
Really?
I mean, she's very attractive.
For the gram?
It's like I think I see a very burnt like baby's doll back there behind her.
Yeah,
I bet they put that
Like
there.
there's a skull.
Yeah.
Back there somewhere.
just shattered windows, emptiness, and sadness. And she's just like, look at my boobs.
Like her mouth is wide open, but you know she's holding her breath.
And here's,
For sure.
here's
Yeah,
this
it is
lady.
really,
Oh,
you
God.
can't hold your breath from radiation.
My God.
I thought I already hated hot girls on Instagram, and I do more now.
yeah, I know, right?
Well, you know what happens.
That being said, though, they're much braver than me. Okay, that just pissed
Look at
me
Well,
this
that's
woman.
just stupid.
I hate it.
This
It's
woman,
just stupid. I guess Pripyat is open for business, but not anywhere around Chernobyl.
This dumb bitch is in somebody's house. Is
Yeah.
in somebody's house that was like, look at this.
Is she?
She's in there like touching their stuff. Like, don't do that. That's disrespectful.
Yeah, and also,
Dumb.
what are you getting out of this?
Yeah, you staying trendy. It's a big show. People like
I mean,
it.
what are you gonna do next? Go take booty pics at Auschwitz? Like what? Like what the fuck? That is the
Wearing-
dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Wearing nothing but a yarmulke.
I can't.
Oh,
Yeah.
God!
Like this girl had to have rolled up on this rusted ass playground, pushed off a burnt child on that swing set so she could sit on that swing set and look like she's happy.
Look like she's just like, there's this dumb bimbo walking through.
You know what the funniest part of this is for me? You know, they all not only did they do it for free, but they had to pay somebody to go
get
with
there,
them
and
to do
yeah.
it. So they didn't make money for this.
Look at this
all.
girl. This girl looks like she's on the roof. Like she looks like she's definitely on the roof of one of the apartments and whatnot. And it's just her ass. That's what it is.
What have we become? That is so ridiculous.
Maybe we'll get lucky though, and they will all get poisoned. And maybe not die, but definitely won't be modeling on Instagram.
Yeah, get them off. In fact,
Maybe they'll get jobs or something.
yeah, I don't think we can count on that. See this one.
Oh, but isn't being an influencer a job?
Yeah,
I
apparently.
feel influenced. I want to go to Chernobyl and run around naked right now.
Oh God. Just
These are comical though, to a degree.
yeah, I mean,
It's just.
luckily I'm not the one going there, but man,
Jesus.
I don't know. Sorry, Russian Instagram models. I'd still sleep with you, but
Are they actually Russian?
I think so. I mean, maybe it's just it's just saying Instagram influencers.
Yeah, see, Jack, that could mean like they're stupid fucking Americans.
I in fact, that would surprise me a lot less. Oh, cool. The one that was naked apologized.
Yeah, because that's the dumbest thing. Because they 100%,
This one's
100% riding coattails of this show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, I mean, like...
They see that this show is trending, and then they're just like, let's go. Let's go.
Oh, my God. I want to see... Apparently, there's a big fallout on her. Wait, we wouldn't be surprised if your next photo shoot is naked in Auschwitz. That's literally a quote in this fucking article.
That's what I just said!
Looking for attention and for being disrespectful.
Disrespectful.
Yeah.
Well, you're all about disrespectful, Jack.
Yeah, but this isn't fun disrespect. This is annoying disrespect because this is that it's wonderful that Chernobyl has inspired a wave of tourism to the zone of exclusion. But yes, I've seen the photos going around. If you visit, please remember that a terrible tragedy occurred there. Comport yourselves with respect for all who suffered and sacrificed. Yeah. Thanks. Oh, that was the show's creator. What does comport mean?
Comport.
Yeah. Is that a word, or did he mean
compose? Maybe.
Yeah.
I think compose yourself.
Oh no, conduct oneself is what it means.
Wow,
that's a real word. Oh, cool.
Huh.
This prompt.
Well, maybe don't use big words.
Yeah, right. I want to see
because they were probably like port. I'll plug myself right into Chernobyl.
Says she had the deepest respect for the Chernobyl victims. Pictures are still tagged to the Ghost City, and she is still getting critical fallout from users of the platform. So yeah, no, at least like people like understand that this is wrong. You know?
Yeah, but also it's like not going to stop everybody. I mean, like we were talking about last week, there's still fuckos who show up at Columbine and the Aurora Theater.
Oh, I guarantee you, each of those posts has over 100,000 likes. They must, yeah. Which means over 100,000 people were like, "Oh, cool picture."
Yeah, neat. You know what? I like this.
I like it. I don't know. Pretty much my moral, I can't speak. I love Chernobyl, and I really want to talk about it. And as we talk about it, I keep sitting here and going like, I am dumb.
But it's like, still, it's not entirely like that's the thing with this show is that it's all scientific. It is common sense drove like all the lying and stuff like that. The fact that they were lying so much is what drove most of what the mistakes made in this show were.
Well, the science is there. This isn't a show about science. This is a show about morals, you know?
Yeah.
And it's the science is the stakes, you know what I mean? So most things, this is kind of a rare example where it has both, but like most things have that, you know, there's an explosion coming or there's a bad guy coming to get you, you know, so it's high stakes. Naturally, we're all very familiar with that. And this show not only had that incoming, ew, don't show me him, mozzarella man.
He looks like cheese. That's horrible.
He looks.
Oh, I spent so much time trying to find that because I can't find it on the internet.
His skin is so white, and he has like patches of skin gone, which are really red.
Yeah.
And he looks like a ball of pepperoni pizza.
Yeah, he looks like burnt mozzarella man. You know, like that's the horrible. Like he's got like the little scorched thing, like burnt little char piece. Like it's fucking horrible. And bad. As I was scrolling through this episode trying to find the Matzo Man, the doctor found out that she was pregnant because she was holding his hand on her belly.
Oh, yeah, I see.
But yeah, like his nose is fucking gone.
Yeah,
yeah, it's bad, man. That's bad.
It's nasty. It's nasty.
And that's just the crazy thing is, like, I was just, doing a small recap of this with my dad, and he just was like, completely bewildered of this stuff. It's just one of those stories that it just keeps building, and you're just like, holy fucking shit. The fact that we made it out with so few actual casualties is fucking insane.
It's nuts, man.
It's like, one of those crazy stories like Bay of Pigs and stuff like that. Like, the events that led to it is crazy.
I heard...
He was telling me a long time ago, because that's where the Cuban Missile Crisis was. was, Cuba, but they tried to do the Bay of Pigs, and that failed. And then the Cuban Missile Crisis happened. And then everything that was going on during that, my dad was telling me that he remembers being, in the grocery store parking lot with my grandpa, listening to it on the radio, being like, we could be blown up
Yeah.
at any given second now. It is a Mexican standoff at Cuba.
Literally.
With nuclear missiles.
Yeah. Like real deal shit.
And it's just like, how do we get to that? And how do we let a handful of people get us there?
Mm-hmm.
That is the most bizarre thing to me.
Yeah. The thing is, we did, Like, that's the enlightening and shitty
thing,
part.
too, that I find so crazy is, like, countries like Russia and the U.S. are so massive and such a large area to govern that it's just like it's impossible to keep everything in check. When you think about it, like there are countries in Europe that are smaller than most of the United States, and Germany fucked up the entire planet. And they're superpowers. The UK is an island.
Yeah.
And it's a superpower, but it's like we got all this. No wonder, our country has such division. It's too big of a fucking space, man.
Well, and it's interesting because then
it's too big of a space to get people to want to be on the same page. Because all these different states, there are certain states that just feel like different countries.
Exactly. Well, I was going to say, like, states make it really subdivided, so it's like you're in a country within a country, and then there's like you have this weird unity. Like there's a weird unity all 50 states have together, but there's also something, and then you you're part of state, you're part of like a sports team, you're a part of a political party, you're a part of all these different things, and they're like America has it set up to be very, very divisive. It's we're so united and so divided at the same time.
Yeah, because we do have it set up to be pretty nice and united. But the thing is, like, this situation in Chernobyl in Russia, Pripyat is in the Ukraine, which is pretty goddamn far from Moscow. Yeah. And they have all of Siberia and all of, Russian Asia and, the countries that were in the USSR before they all, seceded and stuff to take care of. So it's pretty easy for Gorbachev to just be like, fuck Pripyat. It's a small town.
Yeah.
Like, because they have such a large area to go, and then they can just make excuses and just be like, oh, it's nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing's going on over there. Oh, they're lying. It's no big deal. This has never happened. We're going to get our facts straight. Don't worry about it. Like, it's easy for them to ignore it when there's just no sense of unity. They're just like, we have more land with more people in it, but we don't give any more of a fuck about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And so they just narrowly escaped this horrible fucking thing. But then you think about it too, it was like 50 to 60 million people's lives were on the line when, like, Stalin killed like 25 million during the purge. Like people would just disappear if they looked the wrong way.
It's strange.
A car would pull up and they would never be heard from again.
It's a very strange way to live life.
I'm pretty sure that's how old Gorby crunched the numbers. He's like, that's twice as many as me and Stalin put down. Shit. I don't think I can let that slide. That's too big of a noticeable number.
Literally.
I guess we better get in there and shut this factory thing down.
We gotta do something about this.
Just a little bit.
And ours, it was,
God damn it! It's gonna cost so much money and so many Russians. Fuck.
Yeah. And they did. I heard Russia's making now a version of Chernobyl that blames America or something like that.
That's what's up.
Somehow blames America for their mistake.
Americans didn't produce this show.
No.
It was completely British.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's the thing. So it's like, go make it the UK's fault then, huh?
Well, it's like, it's not that we necessarily... Okay, yeah, no, we paint the Soviet Union in a pretty bad light in it, but...
Yeah, but it's like, mutual.
And we don't do it... the thing I liked is, like, there was no evil to it. We didn't say Soviet Union was evil. We said...
Well, they're just ideology.
They're stubborn as fuck. Yeah,
their ideology was different. The communism angle...
I've been stubborn before,
Yeah, it was just the communism angle at the time made it so much easy. I mean, like, why do we love Rocky IV so much? Because Creed 2 doesn't necessarily have the same kind of level of impact when it's, Russia against fucking America again.
Yeah.
This one, it's just personal about Apollo Creed's son getting revenge, essentially. But it's not country versus country because Russia fell off after the, USSR dissolved. And the, all this shit going on now, it's just like, they're so quiet, you don't hear anything.
Yeah.
They could be they are doing some shady shit, but they're so quiet.
Yeah. Oh, everybody is.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing shady
They're so
shit.
locked up. I mean, like, fuck. When I think of Russia and, like, Siberia and stuff, I think of Mickey Rourke in Iron Man 2.
Yeah, I know,
just
right?
being in, like, the shitty shit, drinking vodka, and just being like, well, this is just life.
Yeah. It's
There's nothing to do to complain about it. The government isn't going to come out here and revamp these buildings anytime soon. No one's coming to visit Russia as a tourist place. We don't have Russian Disneyland or anything like that. So it's just like...
just a cold, hard-forged
Hey,
people.
if they need to make their own Chernobyl to feel better about themselves, go right ahead.
Do your thing.
Just boost that little self-esteem there, Russia.
That they need to do, man.
A little bit.
That they need to do.
A lot of countries do, though.
Yeah. But Russia's one of the big ones, for sure. Fucking A, man.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I like it. It's interesting. This one got scientific. They've all been just a little bit different based on what we talk about.
Well, I mean, like, as scientific as we could get. I mean, Jack, let's keep in mind, that I almost didn't graduate high school because I almost failed 2 science classes in a row. I still have nightmares, Jack. I still have nightmares of running down that hall and getting to Mr. Hansen's class and just being like, did I pass my final?
Did I pass?
And then I wake up and I'm like, oh, thank God. It's been 5 years since we were in high school. And I still couldn't be any more relieved.
It's
I mean,
real
like,
PTSD.
oh my God.
I get it.
Yeah, it's because, God, chemistry sucked because I didn't understand any of the equations. I didn't understand how to do any maths with any of the science. No. Physics, I was able to just limp through. Made it with that 1.9 GP. Yay, baby!
I love it. And with that,
well, now we got to prep everybody.
oh yes, of course.
You're going to watch back-to-back John Wick,
Yes,
1
I
and 2, and then we're going to see John Wick 3, and then we're going to have our very first guest
Yeah, very exciting. Very
next
exciting
week
times.
to talk about JW3, John Wick 3.
Yeah, I'm
So,
excited.
buckle up. I'm excited, too.
Yeah.
This is going to be very good.
It's gonna be fun because
I can't wait to see John Wick 3, dude. Dude, I can't wait for you to see any of the John Wick movies.
I was gonna say the next time you guys hear from me, I will be. I have gone from never seeing a John Wick movie, seeing all 3.
Yeah, you will be totally...
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will have your John Wick cherry popped fully.
Yes, that I will.
And then we'll finally both get to reveal the mystery of the TikTok man.
The TikTok man.
Mantzoukas.
Jason Mantzoukas. Who's he playing?
He's playing the TikTok man.
We want to know.
He's a TikTok man.
TikTok man.
He's a TikTok man. But, yeah, no, I'm very excited.
Me too.
So, we'll go ahead, wrap this thing up. Everybody have a great week.
Love you guys.
See ya.